Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Thingamajig's Racing Channel. I'm Thingamajig, and this evening we are covering the Ultimate Racing League GRSC Season 2, League 5, Round 3, and we're at the Red Bull Ring. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Ultimate Racing League Sunday evening racing fest. They have 6 leagues of racers, and there is promotion and demotion between the leagues. It is hot schnizzle. Tonight we're having a 50-minute race at the Red Bull Ring in the Group 4 Mustangs, Ford Mustangs. Each league has their own car. Leagues 5, 4 and 3 use the Group 4 cars, and Leagues 2, 1 and the League of Champions use the Group 3 cars. They're sponsored by Dubby Energy Drinks and Eldridge Air Conditioning. You want to get yourself over to Facebook and search out the Ultimate Racing League if you want to participate in some absolute smashing racing. Right then, I've told you all the ins and the outs. There usually is tyre rules, but there is a light drizzle upon the track of Red Bull today. So tyre rules are out of the window. If they use intermediate or wet tyres during a race, they do not have to hold to the using all 3 racing compounds. So if it does dry up here at the Red Bull Ring, it's going to be rather interesting to see which way they go with tyre choices. I will read you the championship out after 2 rounds, Daytona and Willow Springs. And at the top of that table is Toten on 79 points. Then we have the Double A Ron Geary in second on 73 points. Brian Moncani is third on 61 points, with Whitey in fourth on 42 points. Then we have Get Smurfed in fifth on also 42 points. So Whitey and Get Smurfed are locked. If they're stags, ladies, they'd have their antlers interlinked with each other. If they were goats, they would be headbutting each other. If they would be cats, they would be indifferent to each other. So in 6th, we have Freak on 26 points, but he has missed the last round. Callum in 7th on 24 points, also missing the last round. Minnie in 8th on 22 points, also missing a round. Boomer Sooner in 9th on 20 points, also missing a round, with Eric of Canada in 10th on 14 points, also missing a round. And Hoppers in 11th with 12 points, also missing a round. There is also other people, but they have not taken part yet, so they just have 0 points. That's the championship table. Shall we move on, ladies and gentlemen, to the grid? I know we only had 5 last rounds, but we still had an absolutely banging race, did we not? So let's hope we have a more popular grid this week. In pole position, it's the Alpha Tauri Ford Mustang, ladies and gentlemen, and that is piloted by the Double A Ron Geary. Well done on the pole position, and he is looking to try and gain some ground on his teammate, I believe, Toten, who is the championship leader and currently sitting second on the grid in a damp Red Bull Ring. In 3rd place, we have the Rizzler Mustang of Minnie, I believe. Welcome back, Minnie. I think had to take a miss last round for one reason or another, but back in the pilot seat, ladies and gentlemen, and raring to go. Looking good for a podium from this position. Can he keep it? Well, I'll tell you who'll be arguing against that, and that'll be 4th place Brian Moncani, who is absolutely super fast and has been slightly unlucky this season, and he'll be looking to get some points on the board. Big points, ladies and gentlemen. He knows he can take the fight to the Alpha Tauri team. Where are we now? 5th, it's Hoppers, ladies and gentlemen, and he is adorned with his Rich T livery I don't know. Doesn't it say Rich T on the side? His one doesn't, does it? Where's the Yorkshire tea? Rich tea. I'm thinking of the biscuit. Yorkshire tea. You can tell I'm a Tetley man, can't you? Yorkshire tea. I know, blasphemy to some. Yorkshire tea. Sorry, not Rich tea. I'm thinking of the biscuit. Oh dear. That's Hoppers in 5th place, and Brian Moncani's teammate then in 6th. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, more have shown up this week. It is Get Smurfed. GS Myth is using, well, not username, but his nickname is, so I got a bit confused, but it is Get Smurfed, ladies and gentlemen, and he is sitting in 6th place at the moment. I do believe there has been an absolute huge recruitment drive by the admins of the URL, and they believe they may have a full lobby next round, so we will hold our breath until that. But for now, you only need 2 people to race, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got 6 of them, so we're going to make the best of this. As Double A Ron leads them over the line, and Toten, the championship leader, will be still looking to get a lead on his teammate. Remember, damp conditions. They're on the intermediate tyre. All of them have opted for the inters, and G Smith's coming up on the inside of the hops, and he has done the hopscotch diddly walk, and he's through, ladies and gentlemen. Uber brave on the brakes there in the first corner, and Hoppers now driving in the wash of Get Smurfed. Great start from Get Smurfed. Brian Moncani still in 4th with Mini in the Rizzler, holding ground, ladies and gentlemen. The Double A Ron cannot shake off the Hungarian driver, the championship leader, his teammate, the one, the only Toten, ladies and gentlemen, and Toten is coming in hard on the brakes. Double A Ron looking like he's taking it a little steady there. A little steady, but Toten absolutely smashing it. Excuse me. In the chat, we've got Rob saying, good afternoon. Well, hello, sir. And you might not want to watch this. You might get a bit of PTSD from last Sunday evening, Rob. A wet Red Bull. We're all scarred from it, I'm telling you. So Double A Ron then leads this race with Toten in 2nd, and Mini is slipping back into Brian Moncani's clutches, and GS Myth, or Get Smurfed, whoever he wants to be known as, is still holding ground ahead of the Hop Man. And so Toten on board as we close into the final corner, and Double A Ron really is taking a close inspection of that lead. And the rain again, is there a bit more rain? It's getting drier. It looks a bit drier down here. I don't know how long the rain can last here at the Red Bull Ring. And the Double A Ron at the moment tidy through the corners, where we saw Toten having a little squirrel. He is staying there though. Mini is hammering down, ladies and gentlemen. It's not relinquishing the rain whatsoever, and Brian Moncan is feeling a little more comfortable in the car. The tyres a little warmer, the grip a little better, and now Brian Moncan is getting to work on the Mini driver. The Rizzler Ford Mustang is under threat, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Moncan is all up and about his business and looking to do damage. Double A Ron still leads this race from Toten, as Brian Moncan now pulls out of the wash to have a look at the Mustang ahead, but Mini holds ground. He's out wide, he's Mini. He's very wide, he's very wide, and Brian then easily scoops up the position and says, why, thank you very much, and Mini somehow coming back. No, he can't. He's there alongside, but now Brian Moncani just pull ahead of Mini with GS Myth, or Get Smurfed, in 5th place ahead of the Hoppers. Wowzers. Poor Mini absolutely driving out of his skin, trying to hold ground from Brian Moncan, but Brian Moncani does not play, and he was through. And Get Smurfed is close in to their proximity. Look at what they see, ladies and gentlemen. The wash is amongst them. And the two Alpha Tauris pulling away. MJ saying thingy at this hour. What in the multiverse? I know I'm all over the place. That's NJ from the World Racing Community. And Rob saying I actually managed the fastest lap in League 2. Didn't keep it long, but I'll take any small win. Well done, man. I managed to spin a very lot in the rain. As soon as we started putting dry tyres on, I can't stay off the curbs. It's the way of Red Bull. You've got to get on the curbs. It doesn't seem natural driving off of the curbs. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help my little self. I wanted to keep venturing onto the fast part. And Double Aaron's struggling. Double Aaron is struggling at the moment. And Toten is finding his feet. And at the moment, then Alpha Tauri's in an inner battle. Inter-team battling here from the Mustangs. And Double Aaron having a look, but no, sorry, Toten having a look. Double Aaron defensive, staying tight in the corner, compromising his exit, which Toten wants to get on board with. He is trying to find a way through. He is obviously faster than his teammate at this point in the race, and Double Aaron just wants to take it steady. He's saying, come on, work with me, Toten. We're miles ahead. Brian Moncan, a huge threat. As soon as he finds his feet, he is going to be coming at the AlphaTauris with a vengeance. And Double Aaron fighting to keep hold of the lead from Toten, and Toten pressuring his teammate. This cannot be good. This cannot end well. Rob in the chat saying, yeah, I had a couple of visits off track as well. Oh, yeah, well, isn't that just the way? So, Double Aaron getting a breather now, pulling away, getting a little gap between himself and his teammate. Brian Moncani is bringing the beast home. The Yorkshire Tea Warrior is flying in. He's gone faster again, but Mini will not let yield. Mini will not let him rest. Mini having a little look. Oh, not quite there yet. And Brian Moncan survives turn one. And Get Smurfed is still in the periphery, ladies and gentlemen. He is not out of the picture, and nor is our man Hoppers. The track still seems wet, but I don't believe it's raining anymore. I can't see their wipers are wishy and are washing. So Toten then having close quarter racing with his teammate and giving the Alpha Tauri boss a little bit of a heart murmur. He's having palpitations in the pit lane as we speak. Brian Moncani, though, is keeping that third place all to himself, because Mini now slipping back away from the Yorkshire Tea Mustang, and Mini holding his ground, but oh, he doesn't like that corner, does he? He goes out wide a little every time, and Get Smurfed is slipping back as well with the hops in the fight. Double Aaron trying to space it out, and now the question is, when is it time? Lap 4 of 30, ladies and gentlemen, and it does look like the rain has yielded. It does feel like it is starting to get drier out there. If you look in the bottom dashboard, and where there's a car with the tyres with IM at the top of it, there's a gauge at the side. That's a gauge of how much water they're driving over at that time. So you can see as they go on the curbs, it goes right up because the curbs aren't drying, but the track, it is starting to come down, and that first line along is when apparently it's ready for dry tyres. Mini enjoying the changeable conditions, closing in on the Moncani doing his fastest lap the last time around with a 44.1, and Mini 44.2, but has closed in, so maybe Moncani braked a little at that first corner. Get Smurfed is in the action. He is not far behind him. If them two start battling, start doing battle, then Get Smurfed is going to be queuing up for a position, and podiums are being handed out today, ladies and gentlemen. It's anyone's business to get a podium. Double Aaron at the moment has got into his rhythm. He looks comfortable now, ladies and gentlemen. He looks like he is in the zone, and Toten can all but follow him. He needs mistakes to happen. He needs Double Aaron to be off his guard. He needs to be on his bumper, giving him hassle. But at the moment, Double Aaron has the space, has the time, and is in the flow. He is spitting beats, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my hot brew is way too hot to drink. Ow. So Double Aaron then leads the way with Toten on in chase. Brian Moncani is just never can relax. can never relax with the Rissler Mustang sitting in his wash, ladies and gentlemen. And Brian Moncan trying to hold on to that third spot. As you see, Mini wrestling with his Mustang. It is quite a beast, ladies and gentlemen, to try and manipulate around this track in a damp kind of position. Now we're on lap 6 of 30. It's a long race to go. We've still got lots of racing, and I imagine even if it has stopped raining, which it blatantly has, these guys will it's a brave man, isn't it? It's a brave man. The ideal thing is to stay on the intermediates for as long as possible to shorten down, you know, any kind of fuel usage and tyre wear. I mean, these guys, I'm not sure if they know what the tyre wear is going to be like because of practice. Our practice, it was kind of damp, a lot of it, so you couldn't get a good test on the racing softs, mediums or hards. And so this is unknown territory for these guys. It's a drying track for sure, but the curb's absolutely sodden. Absolutely as wet as your mother's washing rag. I was going to say knickers, but it seemed a bit rude. Double Aaron is leading the way, ladies and gentlemen. He got the fastest lap the last time round, and I have said he has found his rhythm. He is got in his zone. He is driving where he wants to be, putting the car where it needs to be. He's not defending it. He's not trying to stave off anyone. He's in a groove. And Toten then stuck behind Double Aaron, it seems. Nothing he can do. He's got the same pace as the man ahead of him. More pace, maybe. He's just taken the fastest lap. But still, a 41.2 from Toten's 40.9. Now, Toten, that is interesting. That is piquing my interest. You are starting to grab my attention. Are you coming in for a full-on attack? It seems so, ladies and gentlemen. It seems so. Now, a changeable track, tyres that aren't really, they're only just track ready. It's the line, we're on the line. Oh, Toten, I thought the back end went on him, and Toten is pushing hard, ladies and gentlemen. Toten is putting in his agenda. He wants the lead of the race. He wants to take leadership. It's a coup, ladies and gentlemen, and Toten is in it to win it. And Double Aaron has gone back to defensive driving. This is what I'm talking about. This is keeping him unsettled. This is the way to win a race, Toten. Toten all in his business, and now making Double Aaron drive in a different style, a defensive style, trying to cover his corners. Braking earlier, maybe getting tighter, although he's going faster, but that is the drying track, I believe. Now Brian Moncan seems safe at the moment. Mini having a small break from the attack. He's going faster, but so is everyone. Get Smurfed is still hanging on to the back of that battle, but Hoppers seems to be slipping slightly back. But Hoppers, remember, has had a very long break from the racing scene and is just coming back like Lewis Hamilton. He still hasn't quite found his feet. Double Aaron leads from the tote. The track is maintaining the annoying dampness where it's not ready to change. It's hard to make a mind up, but it is definitely drying, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe there is a little flutter of rain on the horizon. Who knows? But Toten is flying, is all I can say. And Toten really is setting up his stall here, ladies and gentlemen. He is doing what Lando Norris is unable to do. He is attacking his teammate. Sorry, Lando. You'll do better next time. Try not smashing it in qualifying, possibly. So Double Aaron under pressure. Under immense pressure, ladies and gentlemen. The Hungarian is all up and in his busyness. He's faster. He knows he's faster. He feels more confident with the car. Look at him over the curbs. And the fight is bubbling underneath again. Purple sectors for the Hungarian driver, and he is hanging it all out there. He is slinging Mustang in the wet, ladies and gentlemen. but so is Double Aaron, managing to find a bit of pace. The back end only just holding ground, and Toten's made the call. Toten has made the call. He believes it's dry enough. Is that foolish? Is that crazy? But Toten decides, no, I want dry tyres. Brian Moncan is carrying on. He thinks that's a foolish errand. He feels that it's still wet. And I would feel you'd want to go longer on those. I mean, the wetness hasn't dropped below the line yet. They're going faster, yes, but dries. Very brave, very, very brave. Hoppers, the rest of the field disagree with Toten. He is in a minority. And Double Aaron then enjoying a bit of peace and quiet for a change. Enjoying without his teammate. But there's questions now. The rest of the field have really got some questions to ask. Coming out of the pit lane is Jeopardy. Here we go. Sorry, Toten, this is such a big decision. We are going to watch. We are going to watch to see how this outlap pans out. Because I have a feeling you're going to be facing the wrong way very soon. That's just a gut feeling. I'm not sure, though. I know you've got mad skills. I know you are verging alien. But he's doing all right, ladies and gentlemen. It's not too bad, but it does look ginger, doesn't he? He does look like he's just not... Well, he's flooring it at the moment, but those corners have got to be a scary, scary try. No, beautiful. He's doing fine, ladies and gentlemen. He may have been correct so far. So far, so good for Toten. A brave move indeed, a bold move, it has to be said, and he's right on the gas now. Oh my gosh! And he holds it, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? And Double Aaron is not taking any chances. He's coming to the pits. He's coming to the pits. He doesn't think... He can't take the chance, can he? He can't take the chance that it's going to pay off. He's got to cover his teammate. So Double Aaron into the pits. Brian Moncani takes the lead ahead of Mini. And somehow, some way, Toten survived the outlap. And I mean, we're not going to watch his whole race, but that he is driving on such a knife's edge. So Brian Moncani in the lead, still on the intermediate tyres, but Mini is keeping him company, ladies and gentlemen, and not letting him get too far ahead. Get smurfed. The sun's out now. You can see the reflection on the windscreen of a blazing hot Austrian sun. And Brian Moncani then takes that lead, and it's the fight here. Double Aaron did get out ahead of Toten. It cost him. That big little woohoo he had cost him. Now the outlap for Double Aaron, he's got to be brave, but it is somewhat dry. Well, it's a little bit drier than when Toten came out. And Double Aaron just covering his teammate, but it still could be too soon. And this race could be getting handed over to Brian Moncani, because the proof lies that a lap on the softs and a lap on the inters, Aaron did better. Double Aaron did better than the totes. So, but he's doing... Oh, this is the bit, isn't it? This is the bit. It's sliding away from him. He's off. He's wide. He's wide. Oh, my God. Golly gosh. And Toten is through, ladies and gentlemen. Toten with warmer tyres and knowing the jeopardy of that corner. We nearly saw him lose it as well. And Double Aaron going out and doing exactly the same thing that the totes did. Brian Moncani at the moment under pressure from Mini. Mini is up and in his business. He's climbing into the boots of the Mustang. He's changing his CDs. Get Smurf decides it's time for dries. We're on lap 10 of 30. We're only 1/3 of the way through this race, ladies and gentlemen. And we have split decisions on the track. Brian Moncan electing to stay on the inters as long as he possibly can to have fresher tyres and a drier track near the end of the race is what he's thinking. And Mini is just going to do whatever Brian does because he is in an intense battle with Brian. Mini and Brian fighting, duking, and having an absolute blast. Hopper's then being caught by the tote. He did go a lot faster that last time around, a 39.3. Brian Moncani a 42.7. So you can get a good time. Oh, and get smurfed. This is the jeopardy. That's the familiarity that I know. That is my race, ladies and gentlemen. And Brian Moncan, wow, it's decisions out there. And it's a tough one. It's a tough one when to call it. Toten now, he's flying, he's up ahead of Hoppers and Double Aaron coming in, the old leader of this race. And Toten going in for a bold, brash move onto the dry tyres earlier than possibly should have done. Double Aaron does get the move on the hops. Hopper on the intermediate tyres, and they are wearing quite thin now, those inters. They might not be any good anyway, even as an intermediate tyre. And Toten absolutely pulled a blinder there. Double Aaron come out of the pits ahead. But cold tyres, wet track. You saw him just slowly slide to one side. And Toten already knew the jeopardy of that corner. And he just slowed down and whizzed right past. Brian McCartney has not pitted, but the track is virtually dry, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be driving on all the curbs and the wet bits just to try and keep his tyres alive as Mini follows him through. The gap betwixt them, oh, it's not big, ladies and gentlemen. Toten is going to catch them before, I believe, they make their pit stops. Surely it is. Surely that is the way it will happen. So Brian Moncani leads this race at the moment, and Mini unable at the moment with the tyre wear maybe, or the changeable conditions, unable to put the pressure on Brian as he has done earlier in the race. Toten flying into the 38s every lap. He's taken a second off of his last time, half a second should we say. 39.3s for Double Aaron, not quite as brave on those tyres, but remember, they're going to be wearing those tyres out. They are going to be using those tyres quite hard, and there is still 18 laps to go in this race. Can those soft tyres hold out, ladies and gentlemen? Brian McCartney, is this it? He's coming in. Will Mini follow him? He does. He shadows him, ladies and gentlemen, as he has done throughout this race. He knows how to fight a position. Toten then comes around to take the lead of the race, ladies and gentlemen. The sun has come out here at the Red Bull Ring, and it is shining on our man Toten. Double Aaron, again, being the faster of the two Alpha Tauri drivers, but ending up behind his teammate. It is a true Lando Norris story, if ever I've seen one. Brian Moncani then back out. He has opted for medium tyres he fancies, and it's softs for the Mini. But the outlap is crucial, ladies and gentlemen. Just surviving the first lap. We saw Hoppers now is pitted, and he's ahead of Get Smurfed after Get Smurf's adventure off track. Mini looked like, oh, he's crossed the line and got a 3-second penalty. Everything is cool for the Moncani. And Mini then, I think we saw him wiggling on the wet road, trying to come out the pit lane, and he's accidentally cut the pit lane exit and has picked up a 3-second penalty. That is a race killer. A race killer at this point when the track is drying and they need to be putting the times in. You do not want to be spending 3 seconds on anything. Brian Moncani then flying at the moment. He's on the medium tyres. He is edging his bets that Double Aaron and Toten, the Alpha Tauri team, unbeatable team, are going to destroy their tyres before the end of this race. Lap 13 of 30. And those curbs still extremely wet. And Toten does not mind. He's even taking, oh look, Toten's going into the wet line. He's trying to keep those tyres alive. And I do believe, if I remember rightly, Toten can be a tyre killer of somewhat. So Toten already thinking the long game, thinking later in the race that he needs to keep those tyres alive. And I think what we've seen, the soft tyres only last about 10 laps usually in races. Maybe he's hoping for the track being damp and cooler, that they'll last a little longer. But at the moment, it's a brave move. And Double Aaron is finding his gander, ladies and gentlemen. He is getting his mojo back. He is the fastest man on track at the moment, and he is hunting himself a Hungarian. Brian Moncani has ended up somewhat behind these guys, But with those medium tyres and being a lot later in the race going on to them, this could pay dividends come the end of the race if the Alpha Tauri boys either have to pit or they have no tyre left. Mini at the moment, he's paid his penalty and it's a chasm of a gap between himself and Brian, but he is on the softer tyre, so he can go faster than the Bry can. Hoppers ahead of Get Smurf. This is beautiful for him. Get Smurf, though, is hunting him down. He's a bit faster at the moment at 41.1 last time around for GS Myth, and Hoppers at 42.2. So Hoppers, he's got a bit of space to play with, but if Get Smurf piles on many more of those sort of laps, then Hoppers is going to find he's going to have company pretty soon. Toten at 38.4 last time around, 38.1 from Double A Ron. And Toten is going to be on the smelly end of that stick soon, because Double A Ron is coming along to hit him with it. Brian Moncan going faster again on a drying track. We are halfway, ladies and gentlemen. 15th lap of 30. And the race is looking good for Toten, but Double Aaron is smashing out the lap times. And it's a drying track. Toten, we've seen already venturing onto damp parts to keep his tyres somewhat in life. I believe these guys may be realising that these soft tyres, it's going to be a struggle to get them to the end of this race. And with Brian Moncan on a lovely set of long-lasting, everlasting mediums, chasing after him, maybe not being as fast, but boy oh boy, those guys are going to have some slippery tyres at the end. Mini, 40.8 against a 40.9 of Brian Moncani. But as soon as he gets the confidence in the dry line, it's just following the dry line, staying off of the curbs. It's simple, right? Easy, yes. For these guys, for me, very difficult. Not easy, one bit, and there you go, Hoppers trying to brake in a normal place for a dry track, finds himself crawling back onto the track, and this is great for Get Smurf. Get Smurf absolutely delving into this race and feeling he can get something out of this. Now Brian's a bit wide again. Hoppers is wide again. Hoppers, it's all going wrong for him in the changeable conditions, and Get Smurfed, who had an absolute nightmare of an outlap, is now starting to plant some very, very strong lap times. Mini, beware. 40.1 for Mini that time around. Brian Moncan's off the right track. Brian Moncan has had a moment, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the jeopardy as Mini swings the Foot Mustang around the first corner. Brian Moncan has built himself up quite a buffer there, but now Mini is going to be closing in on him on a set of soft tyres, whilst Brian Moncani is holding on to the mediums. Double Aaron still chipping away, but Toten answering the Double Aaron, his teammate, with the fastest lap. He says, there, plant that one on you, lad. So Toten, but I still believe the Alpha Tauri may have made a Ferrari-esque mistake with their tyre choices. Mediums, I think, may have been a more sensible choice. They have gone ultra brave with what they think a set of softs can do here. And Brian Moncani at the moment playing survival. After you've had enough, you've just got to reset and try and get back into the zone, and it doesn't help when you've got a Rizzler coloured Mustang piloted by Mini chasing you down. So Brian Moncani trying to get back into his head, trying to get back into the rhythm, and trying to find his way around a changing, ever-changing Red Bull ring. It is testing everything about these drivers, ladies and gentlemen. These conditions are not for the weak, I can tell you. I curled up into a ball after my Sunday race and cried. Unforgiven held me and said, there, it'll be better. So Toten then leads the race with double A Ron hunting him down, and they are trading fastest laps, ladies and gentlemen. They are... oh, no! Toten asking too much from the Mustang. Double Aaron comes on through into the lead. And my good golly gosh, Toten's got a lot of work. Where's the cameraman? Here you go, you found him. And Toten's got a lot of work now. Luckily, they have a huge gap from Brian Moncani, who has got his own problems at the moment with a very fast Mini up and in his business. Get Smurf is not dropping Hoppers. Hoppers having slight offs along the way, but Get Smurf cannot shake him now. And Hoppers is in it to get the position. Double A Ron, hey, he thought the race wasn't quite going his way. Toten just pushing the car to the very edge, and again, ladies and gentlemen, it's the curbs. Toten, he's going to continue on course. Rob in the chat saying curbs are lethal in the wet. They are terrible, my friend, terrible, absolutely terrible. So Toten, oh man, now there's not much he can do. He's got to hope that Double A Ron gets as confident as he does and makes a mistake on the curbs, or he could I don't know. Them soft tyres probably are going to last, actually. We've got 12 laps to go. They've been using, Toten's been using them for a good fair few laps now. Eight laps he's had on those softs, so they could probably do another. They could probably go 12. In all fairness, I might have been just stoking a bit of nonsensical tension for no reason, because it does to me look like the tyres are doing okay. I thought those softs were going to absolutely shoot themselves, but at the moment, oh, Mini's up. Oh, whoa! Oh, Brian. Oh, Brian. Jesus, how long's he been sat there? And he goes off wide. Comes back onto the track. Everything seems fine. The back end meets the front end, and it's boom. Into the barrier he goes. And it just looks like he's going to sit and have a rest for a short while. Oh my. Oh dear. So Double A Ron then. We jump back 30 seconds. It'll catch up. Oh, Double A Ron is in our chat, ladies and gentlemen. The man himself, the myth. Double A Ron saying, Tone gave me an early Christmas present. And Aaron saying, I shall return it tonight. And Aaron saying, Brian said he needed a trickle so bad. He needed an oil. He needed an oil break, ladies and gentlemen. He needed an oil change. Let's just put it that way. So Brian then off for an oil change. Double A Ron coming along now. Now no overtaking in the final corners, ladies and gentlemen. And Mini cannot believe it. Thank goodness for Brian Moncani's terrible undercarriage, his oil tray being absolutely full and needing to empty it out at the side of the track. And Mini, it makes a podium rather easy for him. Gets smurfed. Oh, Hoppers is playing with the curbs and with jeopardy, ladies and gentlemen, as Brian Moncani is underway. He has emptied the oil tray. Double A Ron leads this race with the tote. The tote licking his wounds, I'm afraid. Toten, can he pull it back? 11 laps to go, and it looks like Double A Ron is not under any pressure. He can just find his groove. As long as he stays off the curbs, he will be okay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's watch this lap. Let's see how he is approaching the curbs, because Toten just decided to go all over him. Ooh, nothing. See, that's beautiful. That's fractional curb usage there, ladies and gentlemen. Again, doesn't even play with the curbs, driving with such precision. Now that's a little curb usage, but enough. He still had two wheels on the sticky stuff, and again a little trek onto the curbs, but his curb usage is minimal at best, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a lesson in how you drive on a drying track. Here we go. Look at that. Wow. I applaud your curb usage, Double A Ron. in a wet condition. It's better than mine. Toten, meanwhile, the contrast betwixt the two drivers. Double Aaron, minimal curb usage. Toten, total curb usage. Although, you know, you don't. I was even trying to go out wide there, but yeah, he stays off of that curb. It's all about the curbs, isn't it? In the second part of this race, we've only got 10 laps to go, and Toten with a huge job to do. He really does need Double Aaron to make some mistakes, and Double Aaron has made a small mistake, but it's fractural. It's not going to cost him in the big scheme of things with Toten 2 wheels onto the curb. Mini doing fine at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Probably eased off. He's probably eased off pushing because he's under no pressure whatsoever. And gets smurfed some way back and gets smurfed. He's still got to keep an eye on Hoppers. Hoppers has done a phenomenal job in a changeable condition. We've seen him having a couple of excursions and still in the fight with Get Smurfed. So you've got to say he's doing grand. And Brian Moncani, the other Yorkshire T driver, skidding it through the corners. And at this point, he may as well, I would say, yeah, I'd say go put it in the pits, my friend, and treat yourself to a set of soft tyres. See if you can get that fastest lap from a Double Aaron. Double Aaron at the moment, tyres are okay, but there is still 9 laps to do on them. They're not quite half used yet. He'll be still getting quite a bit of grip from those. And as long as he stays away from the curbs, he'll be fine. So he did a 39.3 last time out. And Toten doing a 39.6, which is a lot different from the 37s that we know they're able to do. And I'm wondering if they've lost a couple of seconds there through tyre wear, or are they just bringing these boys home? They've had a scare. First and second is still fantastic. So they did push hard at the beginning of the race, and Toten nearly lost everything. So maybe the Alpha Tauri drivers, I've got to say, it was at this stage that it was more treacherous. It was more treacherous the later. In the wet, it was fine to drive, absolutely glorious. Whilst it was changeable on the intermediates, it was a great drive. It was still fun. It was still something. But it was when you got to the dry tyres, even when they were new, they were okay. It was when they were wearing thin, so there was a little slidage in the corners, and then you'd end up onto a curb there, and then tragedy. You started hearing steps covering ABBA, tragedy. When it's tragedy. Yeah, there was a lot of that going on in my head. So at the moment, though, Double Aaron seems to be in control. Toten is hunting. He's chasing. He has to push. He has to push. He has to put more on the line. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not a comfortable way to race. He's going over into the wetter part of the track, still trying to keep his tyres cool. Mini at the moment doing a solid job. Well, 42.9 was not the best job, but he's doing 39s regularly before that. He must have had a small mistake and lost a few seconds that lap. But Mini at the moment doesn't seem to be under pressure, but Get Smurfed is. Get Smurfed is because Hoppers is finding his feet. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is where Hoppers likes to be. A tricky track where you can't touch the curbs. He's in his element, ladies and gentlemen, and Get Smurfed is his next victim. Although Get Smurfed did a 40.8 last time out, and but a 40.3 from the hop, so Get Smurfed has to push, and we know what pushing in these conditions can do to your position. Not great things. So Hopper's then trying to apply the pressure to Get Smurfed, and Get Smurfed holding his ground, but it's getting tight betwixt the two of them. Get Smurfed has to be wary for the Buzzing Hornets team. They need the points, ladies and gentlemen. And Mini there looking good for a podium position. And who's going to take it away from him? It's only himself that can rob him of this podium at the moment. Another penalty for the Well, I say another penalty. I don't think I've seen him get one. It was Double Aaron that had the last penalty, wasn't it? So Toten with a penalty, but this is because he needs to push. A 38-1 last time around. Double Aaron a 38-2. Tyres looking pretty worn. You don't really want to be definitely putting one of them on the curb. So the Double Aaron at the moment doing his best, nursing this car, ladies and gentlemen, nursing the tyres and trying to bring her on home with no woes, no stress. Toten, half a second penalty he's carrying. He's on a push. He's got closer. I do believe he's got closer. But, I mean, Double Aaron, we know, has the pace. He doesn't. He only has to wait until that little blue arrow comes somewhat closer to him, and then he'll just take it up another notch. At the moment, he is bringing that car home. The Mustang is coming home, ladies and gentlemen. You sing it. Toten then in a second. Mini in third with the Get Smurfed has pulled away from Hops. Hops was applying a little bit of pressure, and Get Smurfed got the message, got the memo, and has picked it up. Brian Moncan, we know, has a lot of pace here, and apart from the oil change he needed necessary mid-race, he's some way off, isn't he, to be able to come back? Oh no, not that one. He's some way back to be able to try and pull this back, so it might be a lap down actually. Double Aaron's tyres are looking a little rough every lap, ladies and gentlemen, and so are Toten's. Can Mini make it pull off an absolute banger? His tyres still in the window, still pristine, ladies and gentlemen. And Mini, can he pull off the absolute heist of heists? Can he steal the win from the Alpha Tauris? It is looking 39-1 last time around. Toten 38-9, still faster though, isn't he? And Double Aaron 37-8. So even though their tyres are wearing, they are still managing. Oh, Toten, you worry me with your curb usage, my friend. They're not all fully dry yet. There's still a lot of dampness on those curbs, and Toten just does not care, does he? That's the Pro Sim Racer inside of him, ladies and gentlemen. You can't stop it. Like me, I couldn't stay off the curbs. I just needed them. Like an addict, I just wanted a little curb action. So Double Aaron then, 38-2 last time out. Toten, he's going to have to settle for this second spot at 38-0. Faster, but not fast enough. Still 5 laps to go. I don't believe he's given up all hope yet. I think he is still clinging on to a sliver that Double Aaron may make a mistake, but as the laps come down and Double Aaron's confidence builds, again, purples. It's looking unlikely he's going to yield this a win. Mini in third, 39-1 last time out. Brian Moncani is going to treat himself to a set of soft tyres, ladies and gentlemen. He's a lap down anyway. There's nothing to be gained, is there? Absolutely now to be gained, so he's going to treat himself to a set of lovely softs at the end of this race, and well, he could smash the fastest lap, because Double Aaron and Toten's tyres have seen better days, and they've still got quite a way to go, you know. There's still quite a way to go in this race. Brian Moncani then onto a set of soft tyres, and now we are going to see the magic happen. Mini in third, 39.5 last time out for him. He is faster than Get Smurfed. Get Smurfed cannot break it into the 3.9s. So Mini safe at the moment, and G Smith really is just concerned with the Yorkshire T driver behind him, whom is absolutely slinging Mustang and has found the 39s at some point. a 42 that time around. 40.84 gets Smurf. So at the moment, he is safe now. Our man, the Makani, has put on a soft set of tyres, and he aims to do business, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to make some transactional inquests into that fastest lap. That was trying to be clever to say he wants the fastest lap. Double Aaron picking up a penalty, but he can afford it. Toten pushing on. He isn't all that far away though, just one small mistake. And the Toten is back in the game, ladies and gentlemen. And Double Aaron coming across. Is that Brian Moncani? No, it's Hoppers. He's coming across Hoppers, who is in a fight with the Smith. So he's not going to want to yield, ladies and gentlemen. And Double Aaron might find himself a little caught up in someone else's battle here, which will be perfect for the Totes. And Double Aaron obviously knows he doesn't need to make the move just yet because he's got the penalty to pay. So, well, although he's coming around now and he pays the penalty, and let's just hope that Hoppers didn't lift for him, because he'd been lifting for a long time. He did lift for him. So Double Aaron then up and past the Yorkshire Tea driver, 5th place, and Toten. Oh, Toten, you don't want to be out there, lad. That's the way of spinach. I know you think that's what Popeye eats, but it's also a racing term, ladies and gentlemen. I eat my spinach. So Double Aaron leads from Toten. The Alpha Tauri boys in League 5 are unbeatable, unbreakable, you come up with one. I can't always do it. So the fresh blood that's being injected into the league, can they break the Alpha Tauri stronghold that Double Aaron and Toten are yielding at the moment? Mini is in 3rd. What a great race for the Mini. Man alive, I don't think he's been, this is his first podium this season, and it's great. It just goes to show, if you just keep on in there plucking away. I think Mini was one of the ones that he had to miss Willow Springs, and he finished 22 points. Oh, it's double points. Hang on, give me a second, I'm looking. So he would have finished about 7th, maybe 6th at the first round. So 3rd place for Mini, cracking stuff. They do drop a round or two at the end of the season, so missing Willow Springs won't hurt too much come the final count up of the points. Toten, 37.9. He's coming across Hoppers now as Double Aaron, still the holder of the fastest lap, but Brian Moncani, 37.5. Jeez, how close. 4 thousandths off of the fastest lap for Brian Moncani. He's going again, ladies and gentlemen, and he's he wants the fastest lap out of this race. Oh, the curb's totally safe now. That looks great. He's 3/10 up on Double Aaron's fastest lap, and you've just got to get something out of the race when you've had one of those kind of races. And Brian Moncani at the moment knows the leaders aren't likely to come in and put fresh rubber on, so he can take advantage of that by getting the fastest lap and a point out of the race. So 6th place and a point. Oh, he's picked up a penalty though, so I don't think they'll let this one count, nor the next one. Does it count? Yes, they let him have that. Wow, he picked up a penalty in the final corner, but still got the fastest lap. I am colour me in, unbelievable. I thought that one would have been redded. Double Aaron at the moment still in the lead, and Toten, I mean, all he can do is just keep on driving. The tyres are looking dismal, and they've still got a couple of laps to push on with these tyres. And Mini at the moment is half worn. but he's good. He's good. He's got no issues at the moment. And Get Smurf now is the next man to be lapped. Toten's gone in, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's got the gap. He wants the fastest lap. Oh, come on. Brian's had a terrible day. Let him have this one small thing, but no, Toten. He will not let it. He will not give anything away. He is coming in for fresh rubber. How far is Mini behind? Has he done the math correctly, ladies and gentlemen? Up against the Mini. Oh, he's got a half-second penalty though, so he's going to have to pay that. And Mini then coming up near the final part, but Toten is back out onto a fresh set of soft just so Brian Moncani can't have fastest lap. Wow. Hey, he's second. He's got to try and keep Aaron at bay. He's the championship leader, and these are the things. He had the room to make a pit stop. He was never going to catch up Double Aaron, so and he had the room ahead of Mini, so why not? Why not try to get that fastest lap? Brian Moncani is back in again. What for this time? Double Aaron, a new set of soft tyres. Double Aaron at the moment, all that shenanigans behind him, he has to get it out of his head. He cannot be sidetracked with what is happening behind him. All he can do is concentrate on the race ahead of him. He is leading. He is just about to start his final lap, ladies and gentlemen, after a awful look at Daytona. This one is coming good. I can't remember what he did at the Willow Springs. That wasn't it Toten again that took the wins from him? Let me see. I can't tell who got the wins. I think Double Aaron got the win. Oh yeah, he got one win in the sprint, the first race, and Toten won the second race. So this championship is very tight, ladies and gentlemen. Toten he knows he needs every single point. He can't finish second too often against Double Aaron as he slides his Mustang sideways through the first corner, absolutely pushing it to the limit because he needs to get Brian Moncani's fastest lap away from him. Mini at the moment just bringing her home for a podium. That's all he needs, all they want. And for some reason, Get Smurfed on his final lap with Hoppers unable to close in on Get Smurfed in the end. And Brian Moncani did come in for a new set of soft tyres. But at the moment, who's going to cross that line then? Is it Brian Moncani? But he's not on his final lap, so he is going to get a chance. He's going to get one more lap. That has worked out very nicely for him. So he gets to start his final lap. Has our man Double Aaron comes around. It has been a dramatic race. Oh, what has he done that for? Is Toten that far behind? He is. Showing off, ladies and gentlemen, with a few donuts at the end of the race, allowing Get Smurf to get another lap in. No, Get Smurf comes in behind him, and Double Aaron takes the win with Toten. Is he going to get that fastest lap? But Brian Moncani is running as well behind him, and Get Smurf finishes in fourth. We saw crossing the line with Double Aaron. Hoppers finishes in fifth as Toten brings it on home. What's the lap time? 36.8. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, ladies and gentlemen. Mini in third. Brian Moncani. Mini's going to finish first. I want to see his sectors, though. I want to see his sectors. Oh, will he get to that sector before Mini gets to the line? Come on, Brian Moncani. I need to see that sector as you go through. Are you on it? Are you? Well, you've got it. You've got it anyway. It doesn't matter. Toten didn't get it, so it really doesn't matter. Oh. So Mini then brings it home and gets himself a podium. First podium of the season in League 5. Well done, my friend. Cracking stuff. And Brian Moncani, who does get the fastest lap, but he wanted another one. And comes through. How much? 36.820 so far. He's not going to get it into the 35, surely. So it's going to be a 36.4, maybe. 36, no, he backed out of it. He backed out of it, ladies and gentlemen. What am I doing? This is just going to stop. Oh, wow. Well, didn't we just have a great bit of fun there? That was cracking, ladies and gentlemen. See, who needs a full lobby when you've got Double Aaron, Toten, Mini, Get Smurfed, Hoppers, and Brian Moncani supporting you. Thank you, guys. Great racing as usual. We won't be waiting a whole week. Don't you worry. We won't be. But you see, the thing in the UK, we had this thing called a bank holiday weekend where we have to drink copious amounts of tea. It's a break from work so we can get more brew down us. So everything's been slightly delayed this week because of said bank holiday. Hopefully, the next round, which is at Goodwood in the Mustangs, will be happening tonight, and I hope I can stream it. I hope Monday night or Tuesday night. Big up to League 5 for a great race there, and Double A Ron for a super win. Toten, what an effort. And Minnie, well done on your first podium in League 5. Right then, that's that then. Thank you very much for joining me here. Thank you for all the things you do as well, like interaction and stuff like that. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Tiru, peace and love. Peace and love.